Hello everyone, and welcome to the last series, the last chapter of this series of tutorials for Google Forms in order to create an assessment for language teaching using different skills. The only thing that I had to clarify is that for this form in particular, it's hard to develop a speaking assessment since our students won't be able to actually record their own voice and upload the file to the form. That's not possible. But on another series of tutorials using different resources, I'm going to show you how can you assess your speaking to your students. But for Google Forms right now, it's hard to do it. So what I did is just I created an exam for listening, reading, grammar, and writing. Okay, and the last part that I want to show you on this tutorial is about the results. So what I have right now are the four sections already created with my questions and the answer keys, and all the questions are mandatory. So in order to get the results, as you can see, this is a new form that's why I have in zero the information. So what I'm gonna do is to do it as a student, alright? All the questions are mandatory, so I'm going to try to answer fast and I'm just trying to guess. When I created my form, I decided for these questions name, for these fields, name and email to make as a text. But I mean, you know that your students, they have to write their real name and their email. I have the listening one, they watch the video, and according to the video, they can actually answer the questions which are also mandatory. So I'm just guessing, okay? I click on next and then I had the writing section. I had to type I an answer. I'm going to keep it short. In order to show you the answers. And then I click on next. And then I had the reading one. I had to choose the correct option and to choose the correct option. And finally, I had the grammar section. So I'm just guessing. I had two options. I want to write roller coaster, haunted house. This is what is asking for. Alright, and then I click on enviar. So it means that I sent my answers and I can choose my students to have an evaluation, immediate evaluation. So it means that this one was correct, incorrect, incorrect. Well, here is incorrect because I haven't graded, and also since I haven't wrote any feedback, right? So I have once I saw I see the well, I show my students why it is incorrect. I embed videos in order to review a lesson, for example, about irregular verbs, because in this particular question, I asked my students to use a simple past, regular verbs, irregular verbs, and did in past. As well here, about family, I can show comments to my students. And then the reading, all right, it is incorrect, as well in the grammar section. So my students will get an instant feedback about what I told Google Forms to evaluate, and it means that this particular student got 5 points out of 43. And if you go back to my exam, the amount of points that I'm going to grade are 43. And as you can see right away, I got one answer. I got two respuestas. and then I have all the statistics. Okay, so he got 5 out of 43. So, and then I have a report about who did it, and then a report by question. Okay, so this is very useful because you got instant grading. You just had to be careful on the way you tell Google Forms to evaluate. For example, on writing, I didn't give more explanation, right? So you just have to uh, add the proper explanation about how you are assessing the the writing, for example. So you have to be very careful because this is what your students are going to see on the you know on the results. So it could be motivating or maybe not, depending how you working with. So well, teachers, this is how I work with Google Forms. Remember that is linked to a webinar I created about how to teach online classes, and I recommended to use flipped classroom. So on the last stage, which is the third stage in where students consolidate knowledge, you can use this very useful resource to create your own tests, quizzes, and assessment forms in order to check if what you have done on the two first stages um, promotes all learning already. Okay, so thank you for watching us, and please wait for the next series of tutorials and webinars we are going to have on Facebook page. Thank you for watching us, and stay tuned. Bye bye.